Hi guys, we're here live with you. It's Monday, 1 o'clock. We're so happy that you have joined us on this dreary, chilly Monday.
That's right. You know, as soon as I came into the office today, I thought of that song by, who was it, Karen Carpenter? Rainy days and Mondays always
get me down. That takes me back to 1980 something.
That's right.
All right.
Still a beautiful day though.
Yeah, when we open up Advanced Magazine, the sun just feels like it's shining on us.
Shines right out.
Warms our hearts, right?
That's right. That's how I feel when I open Advanced Magazine.
Especially when we talk about marriage.
Yes.
Like we talked about, last month I think we talked about it. It was Valentine's Day, so we talked about it.
Yes.
We're carrying that on this month as well. We have a finance article. But what else do we have going on in Advance this week, David?
We also have a fascinating article about prosthetic limbs. Now, this is a really interesting field because prosthetic limbs, which are defined as those kind of artificial limbs that people can get attached to their bodies, like if they lose something or if they don't have control of their hands or their body, prosthetic limbs are something that can help them to still have the function of a hand even though their hand has been removed. But in this situation, we're talking about something even more profound. Somebody who has been paralyzed, right? Their hands and arms, their arms and legs are still there, but they can't control them. Yeah. Well, now they're looking into ways that people with paralyzed limbs can regain their mobility using electronics.
By implanting something inside their brain.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, this particular
sci-fi.
Well, it is extremely sci-fi. It is like, yeah, it's the kind of thing that I still have trouble believing is really true, and a lot of people are very averse to. But as we see in this article, they're currently doing all kinds of research and development of these tools, and it can be a really helpful thing.
I have a quick question. You just said they're really averse to. What does that mean?
Really averse to means that you really do not like it. You hear about something, or you look at something, and you just automatically reject it. Yeah. You are averse to it.
Because they're going inside your brain and planting something, right?
Yeah, computer chips or electrodes, as they're.
I think it sounds pretty amazing, right? Especially under these circumstances. And the cool thing about this story is this man, he's a bit older, but he's hoping he can help future generations who are in the same situation as he is in. So it's not just, it may not help him so much, but it may help those in future generations.
That's right. And so my question for you guys, some of whom are perhaps future generations of this much older guy, right? This is our poll for the day, actually. Would you be willing to have digital implants put in your brain? Would you be willing to have these kinds of digital implants put in your brain? No. Yes or no?
Maybe you already have one.
Maybe you already have one.
Maybe we have one.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. It's implanted there. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe. Would you be willing to do that? Check yes or no, or click yes or no. Let us know anytime during this broadcast what your answer to our poll of the week is.
That's right.
And we want to thank you guys for responding to our poll and our question of the week. And we want to let you know for the question of the week, if you're watching this anytime throughout the week, go ahead and respond in our comments below. Just like Alan Chen did last week. He was telling us about some caves he went to in Japan.
Whoa!
That sounds really amazing, and he could hear the sound of drizzling water. There's actually, I think you said, rivers flowing through the caves there.
Wow.
That's incredible, but maybe a bit creepy when you're inside. You're hearing water dripping. Like, where's the water coming from? That's driving me crazy.
Wow.
So thank you, Alan, for writing into us to let us know about your cave experiences, and we hope that you all will respond to our question of the week, which is coming up just in a moment, which is related to our marriage article. We're talking about marriage and money. Wow, those are two difficult topics, David. When you put them together, you can just imagine the challenges.
Oh yeah, it's like putting baking soda and vinegar. You mix them together and then they go psh, right? Psh. Yeah, it's definitely a source of a lot of conflict, but also a great way to build teamwork when you're able to do it effectively. In this article, they basically really zero in on marriage and money and look at some ways that husbands and wives can explore the topic, the sometimes very sensitive topic of money together without it resulting in big conflicts. It's all about finding healthy ways to both understand and talk about these things together.
Absolutely. Finding ways to understand each other when it comes to money is so important. So many marriages, so many people who are married get into big fights, or verbal fights. Hopefully not physically, that would be terrible, but they get into really serious conversations about money. This is something good to really sit down and talk it out, and maybe even get some outside help. That's our point number 5 in our article. Sometimes we're afraid maybe to tell people our problems, but that's not the good path to go on. It's good to tell a trusted friend, but especially even a counselor, as a professional who can help you with these matters.
That's right. And our question of the week actually is this time specifically for married people. We want to know, as you people who are married, you're reading this article, maybe you're just starting to have these conversations with your spouse, or maybe if you've had them before and you've been married for years and you've worked through it.
But maybe you're scared to have them again.
Exactly. So we kind of want to know which one of these points really resonates with you. Now, I'm not married yet, but soon. And one thing that really resonates with me from this article is they talk a little bit about understanding the context that your partner comes from. Right? So if someone comes from a situation where their parents were very financially stable and maybe very good at working through financial things, then they maybe have a more healthy outlook. But a lot of people come from families where money was a source of conflict, where there were fights, where there was this feeling of maybe not feeling safe because there was never enough, or these kinds of things really impact our psychology, and you bring all of that to your marriage when you marry somebody. Things that you don't even know you're bringing into the marriage.
Yeah, we all tend to make too big of a deal out of money sometimes, and a lot of us sometimes don't focus on money enough, or we do both at the same time in different ways, right? Yeah. Which is crazy, but we're complex beings, humans are, right? And so sometimes we care a lot about money, but we don't care a lot about how we take care of money. And when we come into marriage, we can have different ideas of money than our spouses, and most of you probably already know that, right, if you're married. And so it's a challenge, and I think it's something at the beginning of marriage to try to figure out as much as you can, but let's face it, a lot of times we don't really know how we're going to react to an issue until we're in that issue. And so I think it all comes back to one main thing is communication, right? In marriage, that's really important. And talking things out and not getting upset at each other, but hearing each other out and trying to come to a resolution to the problem.
Would you say that's a tip that you would give to myself and other perspectives?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you got to communicate and be willing to hear each other out and try to make compromises where possible. Right?
Compromises, situations where you're willing to give up something for the greater good.
Yeah.
Right. That's how we would talk about compromises in this context. Can we see if we have any comments?
Yeah, did anybody take our poll?
Yeah.
Checking yes or no if you haven't done that yet.
Check and see if we have any.
All right.
What do we got here? Oh, we got a comment here. Getting close, I can read it. Very good. Thank you very much, Alan Chen. He says, it's encouraging to know that technology can help people with paralyzed limbs gain control over their limbs. Yeah, if he needed this technology, he would probably try it.
I'm with you, Alan. I think if I needed it, I would probably try it as well. Why not, right?
But what if you didn't need it, but it was like, oh, you can get this chip in your brain and then it will help you do something.
Save money? Like every time I go into the store, it would scan it and give me a 20% discount or something? I don't know. Probably not, but hey.
Probably not.
If it caught on, maybe. I don't know.
I think that's the point where I start getting a little concerned with okay, this blind guy gets an implant in his brain so that he can see. Cool. But this person who can see gets an implant so that they can see at night, like an animal. I will
say this. I think we have a worldwide chip shortage, so maybe we should wait at least.
That's true. Yeah.
Get that figured out.
Yeah.
And I think we've put the question of the week up there. It's been scrolling by. So that will continue to scroll by, and it has to do with our marriage article. We're just asking you which of these 5 points really resonate with you. If you're married, and hey, maybe you're not married, but you're thinking about marriage, which one relates to you? So be sure to answer that in our comments section there on YouTube. If you're not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, be sure to do that. Check us out on the radio this week as well.
Yes.
I'm getting ready to go record a radio program right now, but that's coming up later this year because we do things ahead of time, except for this. This is live.
This is live, 100% all live.
Every Monday at 1 o'clock.
That's right. So thank you guys so much for joining us for another exciting episode, live from the 6th floor of the ORTV building.
You gave the exact.
Oh, snap. Oh, no.
It's supposed to be a secret. See you guys next week.
Yeah. God bless all of you, and we hope that you are able to have healthy conversations with your spouses about whatever it is that needs to be talked about.
Absolutely.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.